Hi everyone, it is the 10th of August of 2023 and I am going to do another magazine reaction, which I have really been enjoying this. So I figured I'd just continue. I'm going to take a little break from the PlayStation magazine, which, to be honest, what I really like about the PlayStation magazine is that it really gives like a good snapshot in time of the late 90s, early 2000s sort of culture. Sort of like that teenage, young adult culture, and some of the things people were saying in the feedback. I just thought it was hilarious. Well, not necessarily hilarious, not always, but there was some like gems in there. And I will get back to doing those, but I figured let's for now try something different. So here we have Nintendo Power, issue 184 from October 2004. So this is going to be GameCube, yeah. So as you can see at the top there, Nintendo GameCube. Is there a way to... Oh, I suppose I could do that with the middle click. That's one way to move around. It's a bit more hectic, but Nintendo GameCube, Game Boy Advance, Prime 2 exclusive info. Oh, Prime 2, Metroid Prime 2. Alright then. I was thinking, what's 2 exclusive? The only official source. We have Charizard and Venusaur, which are basically this is Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green. We've got the GBA with GBA goes wireless. Right. Well, let's see what we have on our first page. Oh, we have. Okay, this is weird. So how was this like laid out then? So you've got an advert for the official strategy guide. My middle click thing isn't working as I'd wanted it to. Alright then. Alright. Pokemon Fire Red. Hold on. Choose the Pokemon Fire Red bundle pack and get Pokemon Fire Red for Game Boy Advance, Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green official player's guide, Game Boy Advance SP stereo headphones, and a 1 year 12 issues of Nintendo Power. So it's basically like two sides. So like this side here is basically saying like, oh, the same for Leaf Green, but why is this only half the size? So they've got all this, you've got red and whatever. Is she called green? I think she's green. I don't know. We've got red and I presume she's called green on this side, but the right hand side there is just, it's cut off. So how would this have been displayed like in the actual magazine itself? I don't know. Oh, I see. Never mind. That'll be like an insert. I say the formatting is much better on this. So this is also the insert itself. Biased towards Leaf Green there. Oh, yeah. So there you can send that in and sign up. So is it a competition? Pick one. So you can do US or Canadian. Alright then. Second sight, there is nothing I can't do. No truth I can't find, no evil I can't stop. So is this character saying that? Because they look quite distressed. Where the words here is quite optimistic. How strange. And WWF champions. WWF, that is WWF, isn't it? And oh, there's Scooby-Doo. Right. So, these are the contents, what we've got going on here. Pokemon, obviously. Pikmin 2, Phantasy Star Online, Tales of Symphonia. So yeah, this is all the GameCube. Metroid Prime 2, GameCube and Game Boy Advance things. But also they've got a DVD advert here of a good old Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo 2. I remember I'm not sure if I saw the second film. I remember the first one. The first one, that was the one with Rowan Atkinson, wasn't it? The first live action one. And there's another one. I think I might have seen it, but I don't know. I'm pretty sure I did. Zoinks! This movie is awesome! That was my attempted Shaggy. Shaggy has a weird voice. I can't really do it. You can own it on September 14th on DVD. So when was this? This was October. Hold on, this was released in October. So this is... It should say out now. Hey, batter, 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 swing, batter. I do not know the context of that. We're afraid to say anything about this shot. Oh, I would be too. Astro Boy and a bunch of what looks like dead ducks. And here we have this font here. I don't know what it's called, but I think of it as the Robot Wars font because they use it in Robot Wars. And over here, some Game Boy Advance Dragon Ball game. Oh. Don't exactly know what kind of game it is. Boo's Fury. Player's Pulse. Oh, so is this... Are we getting to the customer feedback already? I guess so. The gaming community is buzzing with excitement over this year's upcoming GBA and GCN titles. I know that GCN is the official abbreviation, and I'm fine with that. I know people think it's awkward, but you don't see it written very often. I wouldn't have expected to see it in a magazine. Read on to see what gamers are saying about must-have games and the latest gaming trends. Speaking of hot news, we're whipping up a few surprises for next month. Check out volume 185. Right. Pikmin come in. I read on a website that purple and white Pikmin don't live in onions. Is this true? Yes, it's true that the newly discovered purple and white Pikmin don't reside in onion ships. When night falls, they hop into your ship's hull instead. Ooh. So they're talking about Pikmin 2. Got some artwork here. What's Link saying there? You're such a copycat. I read that as something different for a second then. This new look is working for me. Ah, you're such a copycat. And then Super Monkey Ball. Right. Letter of the month. When I was doing research for a history report, I found something that greatly intrigued me. In the 17th century, when someone caught a serious fever or other ailments, it was usually blamed on marsh miasmata, a noxious gas which supposedly came from the marshes. Then I realised the word miasma is used to describe the noxious gas covering the Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles world. I thought that the historical connection between the words was kind of neat. We went straight to the source at Square Enix about the mysterious miasmata in Crystal Chronicles, and it's possible the connection with the 20th century March miasmata. Here's what the planner, Masahiro Kataoka, revealed. Yeah, well, it's just a word, isn't it? It's just like, oh. I mean, you know, sometimes words like carry over meanings, even if they're not like a direct one-for-one translation, if you get what I mean. In issue 181, the ad for Tales of Symphonia, the inside part of the back cover, said the game had a rating of rating pending, but in issue 182, the ad for Tales of Symphonia, pages 4 and 5, said the game was rated teen. Did you change your mind or something? Do they not know what pending means? That's my only guess, is that they don't know what pending means. Samuel H. via the internet. At one point you said it was yet to be announced, and then later on you announced it. Which is it? When a game has been submitted to the Entertainment Software Ratings Board for evaluation, the rating is listed as RP, which stands for Rating Pending. Game ads and previews articles will often display the RP icon when the game is in development. When Volume 181 was published, Tales of Symphonia had not yet received its teen rating. For further information about ESRB, visit. Yeah, because they want you to be good little children and know the correct ratings and only play games that you are within the correct age rating of. And here's another one talking about the strange coincidences of the names. The Square Enix Crystal Chronicles team was in fact inspired by Mer's real life attributes. We base the idea loosely on the actual tree resin Mer. However, Crystal Chronicles Mer has more fantastic properties that match the fantasy world it is set in, so it is by no means the same Mer in the real world. Mer is one of those things where the only time I've ever really heard about it is through the Three Wise Men. You know, the gold, frankincense, and myrrh. I've never heard it under any other context. Oh, in issue 182 of the Player's Pulse section, the letter of the month talked about the King and Queen Eblin in Final Fantasy 2. I know it's Final Fantasy 4, but this is I suppose, this is going back like, back in the day. You replied saying that we'll all get to see what the reader was talking about when it comes out for the JBA, but in issue 181, there were screenshots of Final Fantasy 2 for the NES. Is there such a thing? King and Queen Eblin were in FF2 or FF4 in Japan on the Super NES. My brother and I are avid Final Fantasy fans, and I was wondering if it is FF2 for the Super NES that will be coming out on GBA. Well, they actually both came out. Oops, thanks for the correction. The Final Fantasy games that will be coming out for the GBA are the original games, which was on the NES, and Final Fantasy 2 originally on the Famicom. But they did come out. They did come out on the GBA. So they're talking about the classic games on the GBA, I guess. I got the GBA one on the what was it? The Game Boy Advance SP, the NES version of it, and I got Zelda, the first Zelda from it. Right. So someone won a competition and they got to go to Japan. Look at all these pictures. Okay. Oh, more artwork. More artwork. Mario, you've come a long way. And there's these two Marios looking confused at each other. And there's, I don't know who that is. Tales of Symphonia. It's quite a good drawing of Lloyd. I think he's called Lloyd. After the two E3, so they call it like E3, like a 3 is like superscript like E cubed. It's E3. And the awesome looking GCN Legend of Zelda game, Tales of Symphonia, intrigued me because of its unique battle system and sensational graphics. The Legend of Zelda game looks so intense, fighting on Epona. So this would that be the original Wind Waker trailer before they changed it to cel-shaded graphics? Because it might be. I'm a major video game fanatic, and boredom with video games caused me to sink into a kind of depression. Then a ray of hope came into my world with news of the innovative new Nintendo handheld. Which one are they talking about there? Let's scroll down. I'm not quite sure. Regardless, the big news. Oh, right, okay. They're talking about the DS. I thought we were talking about the new, like a new game, but no, the DS. The big news was it had two screens. Or it has two screens, so I kept up with this new system. I know all these updates, the new X and Y buttons, a touchscreen, wireless capabilities, a built-in microphone. This new system was enough to pull me back into the video game world. A new Legend of Zelda game that was super realistic. I had been... Oh, hold on. Oh, okay. So this might be This might be Twilight Princess they're talking about. I don't know when Twilight Princess came out. I feel like it might have been 2006 or so. I mean, this is 2000. I mean, this is towards the end of 2004, so it might be 2005. I don't know. Anyway, they found their spark basically. I can't wait when that game arrives. It will be one of the best looking yet. Metroid Prime 2 Echoes looks like it's going to be another jaw-dropping game. The first one was great. This one should be even better. So what? All these square brackets. So is this person like making a lot of spelling mistakes or something? Nintendo, Retro, and all others that are with you guys. Keep up the good work. You are truly gods of art. Oh, that's Frank via the internet. Yeah, so this person here, excited, they probably spelt EXITED without the C. That's my guess. Anyway, they're all... You see, look, Thor Wind Waker was a wonderful game. This new Zelda will be a lot better. The fighting on horseback will be a totally new concept. Imagine the possibilities. I will be on the edge of my seat waiting for this game. The game's trailer literally brought me to tears. So, when was the... I mean, they haven't... I was just going to say, they haven't announced the week at this point. So this year's E3 was one of the most spectacular. It was pretty evident Nintendo ruled the show floor, the new Zelda through Nintendo DS, and the whole Revolution concept. Yeah, Revolution. So that was the code name for... Oh. That was the code name for the Wii before that came out. So, October 2004. So, I would have been... Jeez. I would have been doing my GCSEs. So, this was before... I remember I think it was when I was doing my A-levels that there was people were talking about the Wii and what that was going to be like. And I like the fact that some of the songs in the game are real songs. It'll be great playing Donkey Konga while listening to Blink-182. I'm not a big fan of Donkey Kong, but I have to admit this game looks great. So there's a new Donkey Kong game coming out at that same time. Anyway, Duel Masters. Ooh. They never really caught on, did it? I don't think. I don't know if it's still going. But anyway, some more art here. We have Link. And Beautiful Joe and Chrono. And who is this? I don't know. Fina? I don't know that game. And I don't know what this is. Keaton Cafe is... Oh, hold on. Is that name dropping themselves? No. Emily S. Emily S. Oh, well, there's a Muriel of Link. The Hero of Time. I don't know who these characters are. That thing looks familiar. Is this Zelda? I mean, that's Navi. I don't know. I don't quite know. Here we have some baseball. Big League Chew. Just chewing gum. I remember, I think I watched something lately where someone was talking about Big League Chew, and then someone else, it was either on the same video or someone reacting saying like, it's all just chewing gum, it's the same, there's nothing special about it. But I can't remember. Anyway, Nintendo Online. Oh, yeah, the Pokemon headquarters. So back when websites, yeah, I don't know how it is now, but I do remember games like having their own like Flash-based websites. Last month we revealed some of the exciting changes you'll see to Pokemon game at Pokemon-games.com this September. We're also adding all sorts of fun surprises to the site. In addition to the site customization feature we mentioned in Volume 183, you can register to become a PokemonGames.com trainer and earn trainer points by exploring the site. Then use the points to unlock exclusive downloads. Yeah, like wallpapers and all that. That reminds me that reminds me of like the Pokemon Play It on the PC, where you could complete like challenges on the Pokemon with Pokemon cards and unlock wallpapers, or did you have to complete quizzes for that? Anyway, Fusion Tour 2004, Lost Profits. Didn't one of them do something really bad? I don't know the details, but I think there was some. I think one of them committed some heinous actions or something, and I don't know the details, but and I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I don't want to slander anybody who didn't do anything, but that's just allegedly. That's I honestly don't know, but just saying that, you know, sometimes these things can age quite badly. Pikmin. Oh, the white and purple. So I think they must be new for Pikmin 2 then. See, here's an interesting thing, is that when going through these, I thought to myself, oh, it'll be fun to just see what people used to say, what used to be a big deal and everything. But I didn't think to myself, like, oh, yeah, I'm going to learn some more things about games. But I am looking through this, and it's like, I'm seeing this image here, and I'm thinking, oh, yeah, they did mention the white and purple Pikmin from before, so they must be new to Pikmin 2. And that's a detail that I was completely oblivious to, because I've never played Pikmin before. Are you hungry for more facts about white or purple Pikmin? Satisfy all your Pikmin 2 cravings at Pikmin.com. Watch strategy videos to prepare for your cosmic adventure, or kick back and observe the Pikmin through the site's virtual spy cams. You can also score free Pikmin 2 downloads, including a Pikmin 2 themed Windows Media Player skin. Oh, that takes me back. I didn't like the skins very often. I think I mostly... I mean, remember, the visualization I used was electric green. And then we have some F-Zero stuff. Yeah. At DonkeyKonga.com you'll find Donkey Kong song list, sound clips. Just had to find thorough wiki Donkey Konga Party and more. So that's... Oh, that's just a general, like, in the future. Anyway, what do we have here? Sky's Captain in the World of Tomorrow. So is that a film? Yeah, look at all this slanty text. That's quite a bit of that earlier. Anyway, I'm 23 minutes into this, and I'm like a fifth of the way through the pages. So this could be a big one. Game Watch, the inside source for Nintendo news and previews. Nintendo DS, the new look. It's final. Nintendo has chosen the name for the new hardware design of its upcoming handheld device, Nintendo DS. The code name that has captured the world's attention will remain as the dual screen system's name. The final design is sleeker and sharper than the E-cubed demo model, with a slimmer back base and an angular platinum flip-top cover. You know, I didn't have the original one. My brother did. But yeah, this is the original DS. My brother had the original one. I had the DS Lite. I had a black DS Lite. And we have some of the games for it. So, Mario Bros. 64, I didn't have that. My brother did, though. And New Super Mario Brothers, I had that. I don't remember if my brother did. At At E3, Shigeru Miyamoto spoke of the Nintendo DS as a revolutionary system that was packing a lot of functionality, and the final design highlights some of those issues. When you're not using the stylus for Nintendo DS touchscreen control, you can put it into a newly added storage slot. The microphone for the device's voice control capability remains in the same spot as on the demo unit, but it is now clearly marked and stands on the platinum surface below the lower screen. So yeah, exciting. So new games coming out. Let's take Oh look, we have Mario. Oh, okay. Right. Right. So we have some Mario Tennis here. I was going to say golf, but no, that's not golf, that's tennis. We've received further details in recent months, and a fresh volley of screens is revealing that the Nintendo GameCube's boss title will serve up an even crazier spin than we'd come to believe. On-course hazards, competition from other GCN titles. It's still weird that they actually write it like that. And totally non-standard gear. The signs point to a Mario Tennis that will play hard for laughs. So, Luigi using the Poltergeist 2000 there, is that part of Mario Tennis? It looks like it would be. A year's got game way into 05. We barely recovered from the feeding frenzy. EA is showing its upcoming lineup. Check out pages 90 through 93 when EA announced two titles due in early 2005. Yeah. Mega Man Surprise Attack. Oh. Right. 1 second. I'm just going to close the curtains because the sun's getting in the way. And the thing is that because I'm not using a headset anymore, I can still sort of like talk as I'm moving away. Like if I move over to here and I have a look at the... So I'm still quite far away now, but I look at the recording. It's still picking it up quite well by the looks of it. The lines are moving. Right, quick hits of big news. Come on, rapid fire. What's coming up in 2005? Slap a big red X on your calendar for January 11th. 2005 Resident Evil 4 will finally emerge from its dark place on that date. Right. Dead Rush. Never heard of it. When gamers pick up Pokemon Fire Red and Pokemon Leaf Green on September 9th, they'll get the Game Boy Advance wireless adapter automatically. Was that included? The wireless adapter. So what was that? Was that like a link cable but wirelessly? That's my impression, but I'm not too sure about that one. Mario Pinball Land. I don't recall this game at all. I think I saw it like in a video once, but I've never like properly heard about it. Where has this brilliant idea been all these years? Well, it's pinball with Mario stuff. Yeah, as Mario's world as a series of interconnected pinball fields is unbelievably addictive. Yeah. Kirby and the Amazing Mirror. Again, I don't think I've heard of that one. Fans who insist that Kirby is at his best in side-scrollers will be overjoyed with his upcoming release. The platformer is a bubbly celebration of classic gameplay, but it's the addition of Kirby's cell phone that has us dizzy for the game's fizzy goodness when you call in a squid of Kirby's to help you out of tight situations. Kirby using a phone? Whatever will be next? Whoa. Aha! Thousand Year Door. So this is Paper Mario Scribe Nate Buildoff speaks volume. So this is sort of like a... Is it like a question and answer? Or is it like it's an interview. So MB is the guy who's being interviewed and NP is the other one. So let's have a look at some bits of this. How about some of the character races in the game? Oh, okay. Can you think of a certain race where you really had to work around the group for a while? It actually goes back to Super Mario Sunshine with the Piantas, the guys that have palm trees growing out of the top of their heads. They actually run a crime syndicate in the hub town, Rogueport, and you see them in the beginning, shaking some people down. They have a very important recurring role over the course of the game You have to keep going back to them and asking favours of their boss. Well, that doesn't sound very child-friendly at all, does it? So for the final name of the game, Pipia the Thousand Year Door, how did you settle? How did the team settle on that name? Well, I believe it's because there's a door that's 1,000 years old. That's my guess. Where is this question? Where is this question answered? What's the formatting of this? Stars? Stars. Did we really want to go down this road again and have stars? Probably not. There's an entity called, well, I can't let that detail out for now, who you find out about in Chapter 4. We decided that appearance was a little too late in the game to base an entire subtitle on. Then there's the door. I don't even know if this is the question the answer to that question. What could possibly be behind the door in the game? Some are saying that it's a giant mountain of treasure so big that you could never spend all of it. Other people say it's some magical items that gives you some power. Some people say that it's a monster. Nobody really knows. We decided that we couldn't get a cool enough title with that amount of vagueness. Oh, okay. About the treasure. So we decided to concentrate on the door itself. And that's the 1,000-year door that you're talking about. No, it's a different door. You asked me about the title with the door, and I'm just telling you this story about a completely unrelated door. Oh. But at that point, it was still a matter of describing it. We actually didn't know as much about the door until we got the final version of the game and started translating it. Right. My goodness, it is hot today. It's not even that sunny, and it's hot. I don't like it. I'm sweating. Well, we're in August, so it will hopefully die down soon. I'll get to autumn. So you played a lot of games when you were young? What are the big career moves, or avoided career moves, that have been seminal for your doing this so well? I wish it more an exciting story. I ended up here pretty closely after college, after snowboarding for another year. I tended bar, lived life. Do you think living life plays a big part in writing these games? Definitely. Every experience you have definitely shapes you. You've got to be in the right frame of mind to write these things. More than that, I'm blessed with a very loving family, a big family with lots of cousins. Yeah, okay. You senseless yokels, nothing in life is that easy. Your gullibility did you in. Still got plenty of ways to go. Yeah, what is this? SD Gundam Force. Oh. Nintendo Power. What is this? What are you doing? You shouldn't be there. Advertising a PS2 game. Game Watch Forecast. So this is just a list of games that are coming out. Spyro Hero's Tale. Game Boy Advance. Bejeweled on the Game Boy Advance. X-Blades, spelled with a Z. Zoids. Nintendo DS. Dynasty Warriors. Alright. Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles working title. So that might be... hold on 1 second. I'm just going to get a towel because I'm just so hot. I'm sticking to my clothes. Don't like it. So Nintendo DS, so they've got some... Hold on, I haven't sat down yet. Right, that's a bit better. Right, Nintendo DS. Egg Monster Heroes. What is it? Rayman. Rayman, yes, that's Rayman 2, isn't it? Super Mario. What? Super Mario 64 X4. So I think that was the title. Maybe that was probably the working title that they changed. So Super Mario 64. It's Super Mario 64 DS, but the X4 probably means time 4 because you can play as Luigi, Wario, and Yoshi. Right. Oh, look, there it is again. I seen on Cartoon Network. Okay. Maybe I have to go through some of these a bit faster. Nintendo GameCube. Top selling GameCube games. Four Swords Adventures. That is pretty expensive now, I believe. Sonic Mega Collection, that was my first GameCube game. Sonic Mega Collection and Mario Sunshine. I got those. I think I got Sunshine with the GameCube, and Sonic Mega Collection was one I just got by choice on the same day. Smash Bros. Melee. That was my first and only Smash Bros. Game. Just getting a Spearmint Polo there. Mario Kart Double Dash, the only game I've 100%ed and never played in my own house. Up there, Super Mario Sunshine. And Player's Choice. So these would be like the platinum ones. The US equivalent of platinums. Most Wanted. Paper Mario, 1,000 Year Doors, a good game. And Baten Kaitos. I know about that game, never played it, but anyway, it's just Dungeons and Dragons. We made the first level. Right then. Oh, okay. Okay. Dungeons and Dragons, that's like I said, well, Dungeons and Dragons is where it all started. When I said we made the first level, I thought that was saying like, well, it's the game's in the making. That's what I thought they meant. Oh, and we've got some Game Boy ones. Sonic Advance 3, never played it. Super Mario 4, Super Mario Bros. 3. Pokemon Ruby. Oh yes, this would be after Ruby and Sapphire. Because Fire Red and Leaf Green would be after that. Cool artwork. So this is the whole, like, go on the website, sign up for My Nintendo and register your game to get downloadable tips, strategy and shortcut videos of Digimon Racing. Digimon, Digital Monsters, Digimon are racing. Start your engines with a wireless adapter compatible. Digimon, Digital Monsters, Digimon are racing. Oh, more Digimon. Oh, Kool-Aid Man. What? I'll read that in a moment because that's interesting. That looks weird. Screen test. Are we comic geniuses or what? We've created the funniest joke since the Atlanta Falcons went to the Super Bowl. But if you think you're better, send your best line to that email address. Okay. So this seems to be, and look at this font here. This is very like early 2000s style font, and this sort of like futuristic like curves was very like an early 2000 thing. So this is a competition where people send, like, it's like, caption this, which it's become, I've seen more of that since then, but as you can see, our line was, the greatest cuckoo riot of 1845 was Hyrule's saddest moment. And we also have things like, fly my pretties fly, tell the people to flee for Helm's Deep, I told you the coding machine works. Right. I told Redlink not to hit the cuckoos, but did he listen? No, nobody listens to the purple guy. Oh, look at the cute little, my arm, it's got my arm, or just, yeah, I mean, I'd rather like I'm seeing this and I'm thinking like, oh yeah, this is so funny, but it's like I see things that aren't meant to be funny. Like on the PlayStation magazines, like user comments, and some of them are genuinely funny. Sega's newest Nintendo GameCube adventure is called Amazing Island, in which you create a monster, then run through a huge series of minigames. The minigames are a bit of a mixed bag, but the character creation system is top notch. In fact, the NP crew had so much fun making our own monsters, we felt the need to share them with the world. Do you recognise any of our masterpieces? Oh man, who could possibly recognise Samus, Cartman, the character from that thing that was had on the PS2 game that they advertised earlier, Charlie Brown, and the Kool-Aid Man. Double the Rumble, Digimon. Oh, hold on. Look, they're doing it again. Naughty, naughty. But also, look, even more. I mean, I know it's like a third-party title, so it's like, of course the GameCube one comes first. Digimon. Digital Monsters, Digimon Rumble Arena. Oh, now we get into Pokemon. So this is people who were really into the original Red and Blue. This is basically just like a remake of that. And this is them saying like, oh yeah, that's what this is. I'm eating a Polo. Yeah, I don't know if the microphone can pick that up. I think maybe it can. I should probably finish it. Catching wild Pokemon, so yeah. If you use status effects on it, you'll have an easier time catching it. And you've got this. Now, this is something I would say is very valuable. Like this chart here. Tells you your attack type and defending Pokemon's type, and it tells you like, does it do so times 2 damage for plus attacks, times 1.5 damage for attack types like slash Pokemon type match, so when they match, 1.5 damage if they match. Really? I didn't know that. And equals means no damage. That does well, that doesn't. How would you use an equal to mean 0? Is it them trying to say like, oh yeah, their health will stay the same? If that's the case, then between plus and minus, one of them should mean healing. Like plus means healing and minus equals damaging, or something like that, or maybe even the other way around. But equals should not mean does no damage, because that's meant to be like, that should be between plus and minus. It shouldn't be like a hyper minus. Silly thing. Several islands revealed. So yeah, there is a bit more. So they do have like steel type and all that. Let's zoom out. Benefits of trading, the direct corner. I like this font that they've got going. I don't know what it is. I'm sure it's a common font, but it's nice. Trading Pokemon has many benefits. For instance, some Pokemon will evolve only after they've been traded. In other words, Kadabra, Graveler, Haunter, and Machoke. I'm a rock solid dude, they say. The trading board. Berry crushing. Well, that's new. That wasn't in the original. Yeah, berries. Before you play Berry Crush, you must obtain 2 essential items: the berry pouch to store your berries in, and the powder jar to hold your berry powder. Well, the first game doesn't have that. Several islands revealed, so this is like some extra stuff. So just I mean, they must have more Pokemon. So, like, as far as I know, Fire Red and Leaf Green is sort of like your way of getting the older Pokemon into Ruby and Sapphire, because it's the GBA, so you can't actually transfer from, say, Pokemon Red or Gold or whatever to Ruby and Sapphire because they're Game Boy, regular Game Boy and Game Boy Color games, whereas Ruby and Sapphire, a Game Boy Advance, it takes like a different type of connection. So this is your way of doing that, I think. I think that's how it works. Oh, and I've got some guides here. Is Bulbasaur grass and poison? I don't recall that. But yeah. So is this going to go through? I'm not going to go through all this, but this, at least a little bit, looks like it's going to go through the game. So you got Viridian Forest there, your first badge. No, just the start of it. You've got a little guide to Mount Moon there. I was going to say it would be quite a big feature if it did all that. But sometimes, like, things like this would be the main force, like the main driving force. Like, I remember there was one time, I think I got a magazine. I had a magazine that had a guide for Tomb Raider 2 in it, like a whole guide from start to finish from the whole game. But it didn't really, like, it wasn't great. It wasn't like an official strategy guide. It didn't have like all of the different like each like step by steps and maps and everything. But anyway, you can cut this up and get 10% off any Game Boy Advance title at Best Buy. But would you want to cut up part of a magazine? I mean, some people would, but oh, this is a guide. The 5 powers of second sight. So is this the guy who was looking sad, who said, there's nothing I can't do. So you can telekinesis, healing, psi attack, charm, and protection. During the Cold War, American initial scientists were involved in an arms race, a space race, and a metaphysical race. Both sides spent considerable time and money researching the possibility of a psychic super soldier. And I'm going to guess that this game has that psychic super soldier. Oh, Metroid Prime 2. So this is like a poster page, I guess. Well, it's not really. It's right in the middle, so it must have like multiple sections. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's in the middle of like the little bit that was in the magazine. I'm not sure. Right. Or maybe not. Got some details here on the game. Street Racing Syndicate. Race for respect. Ripping for real. I've seen this font around on free font websites as well. Many driving games claim to have realistic racing physics, but few hit the delicate balance between realism and arcade-style control that makes the game fun, easy to learn and believable, all in one package. If you like the sense of control and danger found in Criterion's Burnout series, you'll love the gameplay feel for Street Racing Syndicate. Although you can choose between automatic, semi-auto and manual transmissions with each new car, you'll find yourself choosing manual transmission every time for its greater speed control. I'll tell you this, I don't know any time in a racing game where I've voluntarily chosen manual. In my mind, the difference between manual and automatic is so great that in order for them to make me want to choose manual, the difference in overall performance needs to be so much more. So I tend to choose automatic every time. Anyway, there's just like a little mushroom emoji at the end. Looks like there is. Where did that come from? Oh, is this Gundam? Oh, Gundam Seed. Battle Assault. Oh, this is a wide page. That's like a 3-page poster, so hold on. Ah, I see. So this is this is sort of like a fold out, I guess. And there's the poster. Alright, and now back here, Pikmin 2 with their brand new purple and white Pikmin. I think the first game had a time limit and this game didn't, but I'm not too sure. Anyway, what do the coloured circles displayed before each salvage mission description indicate how many of each Pikmin type we recommend you put in your party? Alright. So it's not necessary. It's sort of just, you can choose how many you put in at the start, and sometimes you'll come across obstacles where it's like, oh, that didn't work out, so I need something different. The interplay race for riches is on, with his shipping company in the red and his boss seeing dollar or Poco signs. Captain Olimar is ordered to return to the planet of the Pikmin for a lucrative but dangerous treasure salvaging mission in Pikmin 2. This time, Olimar's got a co-pilot for puzzle solving assistance, and even more types of Pikmin buds to help with the heavy lifting. There are 201 wonderful prizes above and below the ground, and there is no time to waste. So, this will be, you know, the Luigi to Sonic, the Tails to... the Luigi to Mario, the Tails to Sonic, etc. etc. Oh, right, so these are some missions and these are telling you what they recommend, what Pikmin they recommend. We love Pikmin 2, although it's hard to categorize. Pikmin 2 delivers quirky style and strategy-oriented action that make it easy to enjoy. Look for the sidebars like this one to learn why MP staffers can't get enough of the spectacular sequel. Right, NP, so the interview before MP would be Nintendo Power. Right, got it. So they've got a few here. So this is like another like little guide just to say, right, well, we've got this map here. These are what Pikmin we recommend you use. Right, okay then. Oh, and there's even more. And there's even more. Yo, they've got quite a bit going on here. I'm not going to read through this. Right, and we have an advert of a guy with the... what? I mean, I know some adverts were really strange, but what is going on here? A tiny guy with a skateboard and a bowl of GameCubes. I mean, the GameCubes are massive, but he's tiny if that's a spoon. But the GameCubes are tiny because one of them fits in a spoon. And there's a bowl of GameCubes here, like a bowl of cereal, but it's like over the edge there. What is going on? Oh, memory card. 1019. Does that mean 1019 bucks? Because that's a lot. I think a regular memory card for GameCube had like, it's divided into 50, like 2 blocks or something. Oh, is this Phantasy Star? Phantasy Star episode 1 and 2. So I think this was the one, I think Phantasy Star episode 3 was the card one, which I had. I didn't really, which it was okay, but it had like online features that I couldn't use. Withdraw games at the ATM, what? Oh. You can download minigames to your GBA via the GBA terminal in the Hunters Guild. You must begin the fake in yellow quest on to gain access to the terminal. So you can get GBA games like Tiny Chow Garden. So would that be... oh, hold on. Consisting of 2 addictive minigames, Tiny Chow Garden can be linked to your GCN copy of Sonic Adventure 2. Battle to save your Tails Chow. Tails Chow? Is that a Tails Chow? Press start on your GBA and follow the instructions. And Puyo Pop. Again, ended there on a mushroom. I don't know what that's about. Deviant Bullies. That is, I believe that's the bad... no, is it the Bad Religion font? No, it's not. Oh, Tales of Symphonia. I played this a little bit. Not on GameCube. On the PS3. Oh. 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 We have some maps. You can't move what you can't see. A sparkling discovery. Plunder the purple card. So yeah, this looks like it would be confusing. Which I know Tales of Grace's F, which I've played a bit more of that than I have of this. That had some confusing dungeons. She got stuck on one of them. Right. So they've actually this Nintendo Power's actually got quite a few guides. I think was that like a key defining feature of Nintendo Power? I mean, me being in, I didn't really have that many magazines overall in general anyway, but I'm thinking, is that like a main feature? You've created a monster, just a million more to go. Amazing Island. Metroid, the past meets the future. So Metroid Prime 1 and 2 together. That, I bet that's expensive now, the dual pack. I bet that's going to be expensive. Look, this is very, very early 2000s style advertising. Oh, and look, we've got another like insert here. Yeah. Oh, like we had with the, yeah, it's the same sort of deal with the Pokemon one. So what is this? What's on the bonus disc? Oh, it's a demo. All right then. It's not quite a dual pack, but it's got some extra stuff. Kind of like, because when I got Final Fantasy X, it came with a DVD called Beyond Final Fantasy, and it had a few like little interviews of the voice actors from Final Fantasy X, and a few little random like clips and stuff. It was interesting. Metal Slug Advance. I played a bit of Metal Slug because I played a little bit at uni. No, I got I had the Metal Slug Anthology on my PSP. And here we have some Madden, but I am curious because if I look down at this screenshot here, GameCube. Yeah, I was thinking, green A and red B. That's like the Xbox, but no, it's GameCube. Didn't even think about that. Donkey Konga. I bet this was annoying if you were playing, if the other people in the house and there you were like playing bongos and clapping your hands. I can bet that would be annoying. So this looks like a GBA game. Looking at the graphics there. But maybe it's just, I don't know. You'll hammer away to get DK coins that you could spend on unlockables, but if you don't keep the beat well enough, you'll get diddly squat. Street Performance opens up all of its tunes in the first 2 of its 3 difficulty levels, Monkey, Chimp and Gorilla. So you'll have 66... I don't know why I do that when I say numbers. Sometimes I'll just say the wrong number. Not 20 anything. You'll have 66 challenges. I think it's because they said 3 and then there was, like, in my mind I was like dividing it by 3, I think. Immediately, then 33 more later. The mode also stuffs in gem variations and all challenges, but you'll need serious memorization skills. All the instructions are invisible. So that's going to be like on the higher levels. It's going to be a case of we're not going to show you. But this, it might just be the grainy quality of the image, but it does look GBA. But then, like, you wouldn't have this on the GBA. It's still just like on a TV there. So, rhythm is gonna get you. Okay. Spend some coin. Sounds like a smash. Sounds annoying, I would imagine. Anyway, Terminator 3, The Redemption. Classified information. Oh, hang on. Oh, Tales of Symphonia. Okay, yeah. Mega Man Anniversary Collection. So what does that involve? I thought that would involve the old games, but maybe not. Here's how you unlock. Ah, maybe so. You got to complete Mega Man 8, 2, 4, 7 to unlock things. And over here, Tales of Symphonia, is this? It's just the name of like abilities and all that. Alright. Alright. What's cooking? Oh, it's recipes. Yeah. Here we have an advert. Wendy's Super Family. How Wendy's 99 cents super value menu saved my life. I'm sure it did. When everything's just 99 cents, it's easy to spend quality time together without spending a fortune. And there's something everyone will love. Try it. I bet it'll save your family too. Alright. Power previews. Again, very, look at this font style. Very early 2000s. Electronic Arts recently invited the press to the company's headquarters in Redwood City, California to spend some hands-on time with its upcoming lineup. Everyone came away impressed with what EA showed, both in terms of the game's quality and the usual breadth of the publisher's portfolio. Right. Well, we've got some GoldenEye here. So, Lord of the Rings, The Third Age, and what's this one? Is this Lord of the Rings? Yeah, it is. I remember there being a turn-based Lord of the Rings game. A friend of mine had it. NASCAR, The Herbs, Time Splitters Future Perfect. Oh, I did like Time Splitters Future Perfect. I had it on PS2. I had the Time Splitters 2 on GameCube. I had the Future Perfect on PS2. Continuing the story from the first two games, Time Splitters Future Perfect puts you back in the role of Cortez as he chases a mystery foe across different time periods to trace the origins of the Time Splitters. Your greatest ally as you travel through time will be yourself. Yeah, I remember that. I remember on one of the early levels, you come like you see yourself in the vents above, and like a future Cortez, and he drops some keys, and it's like, oh, you'll need these to get through that door, and then use them to get through the door, and then later on you get up to those vents, and it's like maybe like a grate on the floor, and you give it to the past self saying like, oh, you'll need these to get through the door. And that really opens up the origin paradox, like where did the keys come from originally? See, I'm just took a moment of silence there because I was just trying to think of, like, I was just suddenly put into a deep sort of state of contemplation. So, doesn't that, I mean, so there's one set of keys that just goes around this loop infinitely, right? So does that mean there's an infinite number of Cortezes roaming this world? Because you, like the first first, in heavy quotation marks, first, the first one drops them down. So the first time Cortez goes to the gate, the door, he needs the keys from future Cortez. So then Cortez drops it. And then those keys, as time passes, those keys are just going in cycle. They're going through the door, up the stairs, down through the grate, and all that. And then like you'll have, because it's going on that forever loop, there has to be an infinite number of Cortezes. Or rather, the number of Cortezes has to continuously increase. Although maybe... No, I was going to say, could one break the chain by not just like keeping the keys to himself? Would that work? Or... And then the one before would just be like, oh, I can't get through the door, I guess I failed the mission. I don't know, it's very paradoxical. Anyway, let's get back down to earth. At key moments in the game. See? Key moments. As you're battling enemies on a train, for example, your future self will provide cover cover fire from a gun turret on an adjacent car. Later on, you'll become that Cortez of the future, and you'll have to man the turret to protect your past self and avoid the time paradox. Yeah. But the fact that you're already there means that no matter how hard you try not to do it, you will do it. Because a paradox cannot be untrue. You can't cause it to be true. Again, I'm doing that whole thing again. Anyway, let's move on. I could be there forever thinking about that. What game is this? The Monsters game again? Amazing Island. All right. Yeah, okay, so this is the game that we're saying... Right, yeah, so this is the game where we're saying, look at the monsters we've made, and also there's the advert of it. Didn't realise they were the same. At the end of each event, you'll receive a bronze, silver, or gold chest, depending on your score. Bronze chest contains potions. Silver chest hold accessories, and gold chests bear monster cards. More on those in a bit. You can play an event more than once to reap multiple rewards. Okay then. Oh, and there's Lost Profits again. Build a better creature. My Chemical Romance and Let It Kill something. Take your GBA to a higher power level. With remember these? I mean, I don't remember them like existing in real life, but I've heard about them. The GBA videos. So you can watch like an episode of something on your GBA of like really bad quality, but you know, it's whatever they can fit on. Anyway, don't miss out. Email that to Nintendo, not email, but send it in to Nintendo Power. Grand prize winners can win a GBA version of Dragon Ball GT. I mean, that's just like a predecessor of the or precursor of the UMDs that you could watch on PSP. Which I had a couple UMDs. I had UMDs of... There was a Family Guy... It was like a long feature film Family Guy episode, I think. Not the Star Wars ones. Before then. The one where Peter got the... Grind My Gears news show. I also had Superbad. And I think it was called The Benchwarmers. That was... I mean, it wasn't very good, Benchwarmers, but it was just a novelty, I guess. But look, Pokemon cards. Pokemon TCG returns to its roots. Pokemon TCG trainers may remember a time long before the days of Hoenn and Johto, or long before those days, those new things, when Kanto Pokemon ruled the TCG scene. Pokemon such as Charizard, Venusaur, and Blastoise were some of the most powerful and coveted. On August 30th, Pokemon TCG EX Fire Red and Leaf Green will usher in a return of the Kanto Pokemon. So, okay, so this is what Pokemon cards looked like at that time, but that Pidgeot wasn't one of the originals, and this Snorlax wasn't either, because if anything had a Pokemon power, it only had one other ability as well. And it's Pokemon power, now it's Pokemon power and Pokebody. So yeah, that one has... If Snorlax remains asleep between turns, remove 2 damage counters from Snorlax. Remove 1 if there's only 1. And you can put Snorlax to sleep. Yeah. Whereas, yeah, it's interesting. Because the original Snorlax was like immune to status effects. Which meant he was immune to sleep. We didn't have supporter cards either. But hey, look. We've got... Oh. Well, these are definitely different. Yeah. Oh, well, these are EX cards. So they're not the same then, and they've got more than one weakness, which is different from how it was when I played it. 5 like abilities that cost 5 mana, didn't have those then as well. I mean, there's some similarities like Energy Flame, Energy Rain, and what's this one called? Energy Trance. I think they're the same, but the next bit is different. As often as you... Yeah, so... Charizard's all energy... all energies count as fire energies when they're attached to Charizard, which makes you think, why can't Burn Down just be 5 colourless? I mean, there's probably more other cards that will interact with them or something, I don't know. Yeah, that's pretty much the same. And then Energy Trans, does that transfer them across? Move a grass energy card attached to one of your Pokemon as often as you like during your turn before you attack. Right. Okay. But yeah, I mean, back when I played, they didn't have 5 mana. 5 energy card costing cards. Not in the originals. Anyway. Is this Pokemon Colosseum? It is. And here, let's zoom out. F-Zero GP Legend. A brash new hero is about to upset the F-Zero status quo. Park it, Captain Falcon. Designed for lead-footed players who will be tempted to exploit the retooled boost system, F-Zero GP Legend lays out its courses to make you feel like you're riding a wild bull, always on the edge of losing your grip. So is this GBA version? I played a little bit of the GameCube version. Yeah, story mode. Custom Robo. I don't know what that is, but hey, we've got a little comic here. Let's have a look at the comic. Up until last month, she was busy serving a life sentence in our police detention block, but that was before she escaped and got her hands on a Soul Robo. Since then, she's been a busy bad girl. Ooh. Alright then. Breaking into government offices, stealing top secret files on genetics, and being generally unpleasant to all of our Robos in blue. Like, what? She's been a busy bad girl. Like, what is it meant to be, like a news thing? Like, oh, you've been a bad girl. Is that what is the going for there? Anyway, and the officers of the Steel Hearts Bounty Hunters for Hire. Look at this font. Very, very early 2000 font. That footage was from Eastside Genetics after trashing a whole unit of our city's finest. Greiger managed to download a new Hypergigs worth. Hypergigs? Is that going to be like a memory amount with the files on a second generation genetics research? Why has she been stealing all of this info? We don't know. All we know for sure is that she's an A-class Robo Commander, and as we've learned the hard way, an expert in espionage tactics. Not to mention the fact that she's a world-class thief. What's the word? Exposition there. Exposition dump. Like, it's like, you know, when you watch like a sitcom or something, or just like any TV show, and someone like on the phone, and they're like, "What do you mean it'll be over in 10 minutes? What do you mean da 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 da?" Just to like give you both sides of the competition, the conversation. Looks like the boys and girls in blue are in a little over their heads here, huh, sis? You mean to tell me that you guys couldn't handle one girl in a robot mirror? What's going on here? They couldn't even just handle just one girl. There's more to this than just one girl in a robot tearing up the town, Harry. Oh, well, let's hear it. Greiger's also a powerful telepath. She doesn't need to be in contact with a RoboCube to dive in and take it over. She picks a target, she picks the battleground anytime she wants, anywhere she wants. That alone makes her one of the most dangerous fugitives out there, with no regard for the rules we've established for sanctioned raw battles. Yeah, any of the rules that we've established. And since you Steel Hearts are the best bounty hunters this side of the dark blue team, we're willing to pay you. Now you're talking my language. When you hire Steelhearts, you hire the best. Forget those dark blue chumps. Yeah, I think that our charitable leader, Ernest, really means... I think what our charitable leader, Ernest, really means is, do you have any leads on where she might strike next? Alright. So, this person is like saying, oh, look at the news. This telekinetic person is doing horrible things, and they're like, oh, that's a lot of stuff. And it's like, yeah, we can do it. And anyway, that's like I don't know anything. Oh, there's more. I'm not gonna read through all this. It's not. I mean, I wasn't expecting it to go further, but I guess it is. Anyway, stuff happens. So, is she? No, hold on. She's one of the original ones there. So, she unleashes some magic of some sort, and then stuff happens, and oh no, Marcia, no, things happen, and oh my goodness, how long is this going on for? Let's look at the end. Matter. Oh no, funny. That's not what I heard. Looks like you're ready to come along quiet. Well, I tend to disagree. Dun dun dun. And that's the end of it. Epic Center. Is that a Fire Emblem? What is the Epic Center? Epic News. Hardcore RPG fans will instantly recognise the name Hironobu Sakaguchi, and all Final Fantasy players have experienced his work. Man, I need a drink. Right. Okay. So I'm just skimming through this. Mr. Sakaguchi disappeared from the limelight recently, however. He announced plans to form his own game studio called Mistwalker, which I think they were exclusively Xbox. And X-Men Legends, and Fire Emblem. Daddy of Auron. Sports titles don't belong in Epic Center. While it's true that some sports titles have elements of an RPG, so do titles across all genres. Don't ruin the best section of Nintendo Power magazine. We would never ruin the best section of Nintendo Power. The second best section, maybe, but never the best section. So this Epic Center is basically a joke on Epicenter, and it's all RPGs. But it looks like someone else here has a similar complaint. The verdict is in, and the concept of sports games as RPGs has been trounced, like the 2003 Detroit Tigers. So is this all... Hold on. In Volume 818, so this is all about that. In 818, we put forth a theory that sports games can be viewed as RPGs and asked for your feedback. And boy howdy did you give us both barrels. Read on for a small sampling of the epic readership's take on the subject. My thoughts on this are, I mean, sure, you could sort of say, well, they do sort of play like RPGs in somewhere or other, but I also think that people are going to be very displeased with that. If you've got a section dedicated to RPGs, they're not going to want to see sports games in there. Anyway, what Missy has to say, in a word, no. To be fair, I picked up a sports title that my brother plays and give it a whirl. It's not an RPG. A fun diversion, yes. An RPG, no. Plenty of genres offer customization, but that doesn't make them RPGs. A sports game with customization is still a sports game. A fighting game with customization is still a fighting game. River City Ransom Advance was described as a street brawler with RPG elements. No one tried to say it was an RPG. Do I want to see sports car titles in the Epic Center? No. Epic Center is my central reason for reading Nintendo Power. I'd probably stop subscribing and get my news off the internet if Epic Center went sports. Exactly what I'm saying. Like, if you try to say, like, okay, here's our RPG section. By the way, should we put some, like, golf thing in here? There's going to be a lot of backlash there. Yes, customization is a big part of RPGs, but so the story and the characters themselves, not how they develop in stats, but how they developed as individuals. That's something a sports game can't offer. In a traditional RPG, you get to know the characters and experiences, how they change and grow and developed emotionally. Whereas that connection to sports game, where's the connection to story? Were people shocked and upset when Ares got killed in Final Fantasy VII? Or people were shocked? Do we feel that way when a sports player gets injured? Or do we just curse, replace them and move on? To sum up, sports games are not RPGs. Repeat this several times out loud until it appears in your subconscious. Give them their own section if you want, but they do not belong in Epic Center, okay? I've said my piece. Thanks for taking the time. If you even got this far in the email. We got that far in the email, and thank you for the well thought out response. Now, if you'll excuse us, we have to take out our injured quarterback and cut him from the team. It's like, with some of these things, it's like, well, we have to say something, so they just pick out like a random little thing and like, oh, let's make a joke out of that one line that they said. But hold up, I'm just looking at this next one here. I mean, this is interesting. I would just like to say thank you for printing what I've been preaching to my friends for quite some time now. I love RPGs to death, but I'm also an athlete and a huge sports game fan as well. When I bought Madden 2004, I became easily addicted. I did not play anything else for quite a while. My friend, who was obsessed with RPGs, said I was crazy and that I should have been bored with the game long ago. Well, if your friend says you should have been bored, then what were you doing enjoying yourself? That's all I got to say. I kept telling him it was like an RPG and there was a ton of stuff to do besides just playing the football portion of the game. But he just kind of ignored me and told me to play something else. I hope that people see sports games as just as good as RPGs, and in some ways, better. Better? That's dangerous talk around these parts. Velen, I'm going to read this whole thing, I think. Velen, I just wanted to say that I think considering a sports title as an RPG is a joke. Sports games are nothing near RPGs. As a matter of fact, they are the opposite sides of the spectrum. Please, please, please don't ruin Epic Center with that trash. Trash? Somewhere John Madden is crying over his turducken TV dinner. Again, just like a quick, like, they'll say stuff and they'll just be like, oh, they'll pick one line and just make like a joke. Arias G says, I myself am quite an RPG nut. I have given your equation quite a bit of trial and error, and I agree that the resemblance between sports and RPGs are there, and that they are very much alike. However, I believe it takes much more than that to become an RPG. Gameplay makes a genre. Platformers can just as easily be compared to baseball, but it is played on platforms. But it is played on... What? Gameplay makes a genre. Platformers can just as easily... Platformers can be just as easily compared to baseball, but it is played on platforms, and that is what makes it a platformer. Just as monster battles and travelling make an RPG. Baseball is like platform games, except platformers have platforms. What? Okay, so this I agree with. We're trying to compare platformers to baseball, but it's just not working. Okay, so they're basically Epic Center are basically mirroring my feeling there. I recently read your article in Epic Center about sports RPGs, and I have to say I totally agree with you guys. I'm an RPG fan and a baseball nut, and when I decided to pick up MVP Baseball 2002, I would have never guessed I was getting not only the best baseball game ever made, but also one of the best RPGs I've ever played. I played a lot of RPGs. I've got to manage every aspect of my team, make trades, adjust salaries, and play with minor league teams. Your theory definitely has merit, and I would love it if you would add sports games like MVP Baseball into Epic Centers. Okay, so what's interesting here, I think, is that there's a very strong correlation between how much people are willing to say that sports games are RPGs and how much that person likes sports games. So we have two people here, I think is it Andrew A and Alex H. They're both saying, well, I like RPGs and I like sports games. And then they're sort of like, from that saying, like, I can see how sports games qualify as RPGs, but the people who say that, oh no, they're not RPGs, are also people like, I don't want to play sports games, I want to play real RPGs. So it's interesting how the level by which they recognize or they believe that the genres like crossover is equal to how much they enjoy sports games. It's as if they're saying that RPGs are definitionally like the best style of games, and then the question of sports games is how good are they to qualify into this. I mean, if you were to try to put myself into, so say, hold on, let's zoom out. So, if I was to say, give my take on all this, I would say, yeah, I suppose you could say so, but at the same time, it probably wouldn't be very wise to put them in if you've got a section dedicated to RPGs, it's probably going to be best to focus on games that people agree are RPGs rather than those where it's like, oh well, technically, because that way you're going to catch the biggest slice of the pie, I guess. Oh, epic preview, Baten Kaitos, I don't know how you pronounce it. One of our close trusted contacts told us that he spent 200 hours with the Japanese version of Baten Kaitos, which makes us giddy with anticipation. Speaking of anticipation, the Epic Center team is heading to Namco to learn the game's secrets, and you'll see the results in next month's issue. The following screen should help tide you over until then. So, yeah, battle screen, Kalos, and Jella, using the cards there. Just someone's eyes, alright. I mean, I say that, but I remember seeing like Final Fantasy 9 in a magazine and thinking, oh wow, you can play as four characters in a battle at once. That's really weird and amazing and interesting and Astro Boy, X Attack, powers. Is this the bad game font? I don't expect. I don't think it is. There is a particular font that a lot of games use, like in this past decade, that I call the bad game font, and I see it all over the place, and it's used a lot on not that the games that use them are all bad, even though I suspect that plenty of them are, but rather that the font itself is bad. So it uses it in it's mostly used for numbers. I see it a lot in Mighty Number 9. And this kind of which is Robo Powers here. This kind of looks like it, but I'm not sure if that is it. I don't think it is. Oh, hold on. There's numbers here. No, I don't think this is it either. I don't know if that's the same font. It looks similar to this, but it looks worse than this. Anyway, what type of game is it? Does this mean anything? Or is this just... Hold on. To upgrade Astro's ability, you must develop his Omega Factor by meeting new people. The chart to the right. So it's an actual chart then, okay. Which also appears in... the chart to the right, which also appears in the game, shows in which levels new characters appear. If a hexagon is white, you'll find an occupant the first time you play through the game. Blue hexagons represent characters found during the second playthrough, and orange ones are described in great detail below. Okay, so you start... Where do you start? You start on 0-1. I don't know. I don't know how this works. But outside of that, it looks like a sort of like platformy style game. An old school treasure. Might be a game looking into. Well, I don't know. Okay, What do we have? You found the Ocarina. The Ocarina inspired by Legend of Zelda is now available. So you can buy the Ocarina. Alright then. Almost at the end. It's Pikmin 2. Been going an hour and a half. Got Pokemon, Madden. What's Madden doing here? It should be in the Epic Center for the RPGs. And just another bunch of random games. So Around the World in 80 Days, that looks like it's got pretty low reviews. Astro Boy. Astro Boy's high up there. I think Astro Boy's like rated the highest of all of these. And oh. And then lots and lots of words. Oh. Prizes returned as undeliverable or not otherwise claimed. I'm not going to scroll over there. After February 1st, 2004 and before January 31st, 2005, send a stamped self-addressed envelope to... Yeah. No point in looking at that. Advertising inquiries. And these are just saying like, look at our older issues. And now we go to the back and we're back to Pokemon. Oh wait, no, this isn't the back. Why did I think... Hold on. I'm looking at this number down here. 126 of 127. Then up here, oh, 136 of 141. So, what's going on here? Hold on. So, one... So it's all... See there it says 141. I don't know. Maybe there's a few pages missing. Well, got the guide. The official strategy guide. Did you frolf today? I don't believe I have. Made with loves by Retro Mags. Ah, so this is some like additional thing. Our goal is to preserve classic game magazines so that they're not lost completely. People interested in help us out in any capacity, please visit retromags.com. No profit is made from these scans, nor do we offer anything available from the publishers themselves. If you come across anyone selling releases from this site, please do not support them and let us know, thank you. Yeah, it's good to archive things. See, this is the type of thing, like I think that when it comes to things that are just like on the internet to see, things, and this is when we get into all like copyright and all that, but I think a lot of things should be available just to like see, and especially, I'm not saying like everything should just be given away for free, but what I'm saying is like there are certain things where when it hits a point or it's like a certain time where it's like they should like release it, even if it's part of like bundled in with like another service, I mean, and things that would not otherwise be profitable at all, such as like old gaming magazines. I mean, they're not going to sell. Like the value that people have on these magazines is it's just, you know, like the archival value, like, you know, and all that. But there's no like, no person who's like wanting to like learn about games today is gonna like load this and go like, oh, let's read this information about Metroid Prime 2 Echoes, because they don't want to learn about the game, the Metroid Prime 2 Echoes. They want, because there's so many more sources for that now. But what's interesting is not what it's saying, just what did they say, like what was said, you know, just like looking back and all that. And I think, like old like reality shows that people don't care about, or soap operas, like old episodes of Coronation Street from the 90s or Big Brother or something like that. I think that sort of stuff should be available just out there to watch, because no one's making a profit on those. But you know, I do understand that copyright is a thing and it makes it all awkward, and you know, Disney keep extending the lifespan of copyright so they can keep hold of Mickey Mouse. And there's a whole lot more complex things going on behind the scenes. But that's just what my take is. But anyway, this has been going on for a long time compared to the other ones. I've been at this for an hour and a half. And boy, it's 30 degrees in my room, even though it's been quite cool recently. And it is like really halfway through August, so it should be a bit cooler now. But you know, the sun's started to come out again, whereas we've been having loads of rain. Anyway, I'm rambling. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.